Hangover. And, yes, Joe.
And now we are.
Good job, Jeffrey.
As I was saying, we're back. It's the Royal Hangover. I jumped the gun. Hey, it's Mark Schwann. That was episode 3 of The Royals. That had actually 2 big endings. The big ending where Robert appeared, and he's back. And then we saw the little musical sequence because it's about to be Christmas, and that was our gift to you. Speaking of gifts to you, Sasha Jackson is here. She played Laura. And William Mosley. He plays a guy named Prince Liam. Jeffrey is also here. He's going to be taking your questions and your comments. So send your questions. Just post them in the comments section on Facebook, and he'll grab them and he'll ask them to us. Jeffrey still doesn't have a good nickname. We're working on it.
I thought we agreed on His Royal Highness last week.
Well, we went with that, but I felt like,
It just didn't fit?
Well,
is that what you were saying?
Bit too confusing, maybe?
Well, it seems like Will and Liam is about to become His Royal Majesty. So I think last week you were His Royal Majesty, but I think that's going to Liam. At least it looks like it from this episode. Yeah, Will?
Ish, but the end of the episode was a bit of a cliffhanger.
Really?
Let's be honest.
Just when the DNA results come in.
It's funny that.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange? Yeah.
Well,
God, you guys must have like writers tonight.
No character on the show can ever say, I feel like everything's going to be okay.
Exactly.
She made a terrible mistake.
And no one on the show can be king for more than 5 minutes without that. Or even 2 minutes for me.
Well, I want to talk to you about that, but I also think that we should do a poll on Facebook. So if you're voting, it depends on who you're voting for. If you want Robert to come back and be king, then you should post a thumbs up. And if you want Liam to be king, you should post, what else do we have? Like a heart? And then
give me like a
at least it wasn't
gun.
a thumbs
Give me
down.
like a gun or something.
And then Sasha, we'll talk to you about whether or not we want Cyrus to remain king. And if you want Cyrus to remain king, you should post that like ugly face or that crazy face.
Do the crown. Isn't there a crown?
No, there's an angry face.
The red one.
It's like
the red angry emoticon.
That's right.
Yeah,
so,
make that him.
Well, good news is for Liam, the DNA results are in, and he is in fact Simon's son.
That is true. He is Simon's son. Finally, I think he felt he was Simon's son for a long time, and now he is. And now he is the sort of the heir to the throne, as it would be. But yeah, it's short-lived as always.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
The Queen did say that she supported him.
She does support him, but his older brother is a bit of an obstacle.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to get interesting, isn't it?
Exactly.
Well, speaking of obstacles, there's also a relationship that he may be an impediment for.
Yeah.
Which is, what I loved about, and I want to get both of your takes on this. What I loved about the end of the episode is Liam said to Catherine, she said, things are going to change for you now.
Yeah.
And he said, no, things are going to change for us.
Yeah.
And I really love that because it seems like Robert kept her hidden away.
Yeah.
Sure. He was honest with her about what that relationship was, but he said, I'm royal and she's not.
Yeah.
But Liam wasn't rolling like that.
That's right.
Right? So it's interesting to me. I wanted to
you should say that.
I want to get your opinion on that because because in the flashbacks we saw that Liam saw her first.
Yeah, Liam saw her first, but Robert is the big brother. He's sort of the guy that says if he wants that car or that horse or that house or that girl, he has taken him. And that's of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't obviously read that. But obviously, Robert is the big brother. He is the heir to the throne. He is the one that would have succeeded his father if his father was still alive, and he was one that was really groomed to be this king sort of person. And I think Liam, instead of sort of learning through etiquette school or I don't know, whatever they go to, he learned on
clearly done his research for this role.
My research. St. Andrews, didn't they? Or William did. But he learned on the job. Liam learned through just kind of hard work and falling and failing, and sometimes learning like that is a much better way to go. And actually, it kind of sets you up to be a better person. And it can. But also within the relationship with Catherine, she's this effervescent person that he's always wanted. He's always she's always been that sort of like someday girl, that kind of girl in the back of his mind that he's always wanted. And now finally, I think he feels that he deserves her and that he is right to sort of step up and be like, actually, we can make this work.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Robert's back, and when Liam learns that Robert's back,
Yeah.
which will happen in short order, I'm sure, it'll be interesting to see the choices he makes. Obviously, Catherine has a say in all of this. So, Sasha,
Yeah.
from the woman's perspective,
Yep.
she's torn between two princes. Not a bad place to be.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot to complain about. She works in a pub and has 2 princes after. I think she's winning at life, if anything.
Yeah, that's a good gig.
I don't agree though with the big brother getting everything. I don't think that's quite. I don't think that's quite right. I think it's whoever can, whoever she likes.
Yeah, whoever makes her heart
Right?
race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had Robert Watt because he was, he was the king and all that jazz. But
Well,
clearly,
he was a contender. He was next in line.
Contender, sure.
He was next in line.
Either way, she's a barmaid.
But she
correct?
did seem to have a lot of chemistry from the first
and
moment
if you
she
saw
met
her
Liam.
first, technically she's yours. You get the say, not him.
Well, I think
bollocks.
I think it's also that thing when you're sort of told your entire life you are number 2. In some ways, you kind of ironically somehow end up just accepting it. Your mother tells you that, your father, your whole world tells you that. So it's almost like this this go-to, this sort of reflex reaction. Oh, I am number 2, so you should have it. And actually, we see him find his strength, and so I think it's going to be a bit of a fight.
And we
I like the way it happened though.
yeah.
You did?
With you two, I thought
it was a nice
No, I
meet
liked
cute, as
it.
you guys call it, I guess.
Well,
As you writers call it.
Nicely done.
we heard about you being number 2 and your code name Sparrow,
That's right.
because Robert was the heir and you were the spare.
That's right.
And even though he told Catherine a different story, the truth was he got his code name because he was number 2.
Yeah, he was.
He was the spare.
And I like that scene a lot, the way you guys wrote that, just because I felt that it was a nice sort of flip on it. It was a nice flip, like that Sparrow name. Mm-hmm. Somehow it seems like it could be a good thing, and sometimes it feels like it could be a demeaning, a demeaning way to put somebody down almost. And it's sort of like a hidden kind of jab. Yeah. And I think that kind of comes out. And Liam, for the first time, I think he doesn't really open himself up to many people. And so it was nice to see him open up to Catherine and sort of share that kind of slightly, tinged, almost painful kind of memory with her.
Yeah.
Because that's not how she heard it.
Right. That's right.
So
that's right.
It was a cool moment.
Well, I agree with Sasha. I think that Liam and Catherine have, they seem to have really good chemistry. He seems to be open with her and honest with her.
She's very good at pouring beer, and you're good at drinking it.
That's right.
Always a good thing.
What do we have any? Is anyone leading the poll in terms of who should be the next king?
Please say Cyrus.
No, we see a lot of hearts. A lot of hearts. So I think
That's Liam.
they wanted
Right?
Liam.
Well, speaking of Cyrus, we met Lana, the fishmonger, the fish lady.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to stick, is it?
And she was a trooper. She, look, she doubled down on the pay, which is always smart.
There you go.
But
he did only have 2 wads of cash, I think, otherwise it would have been 3.
But she did it for love.
She does love him, I think.
And she put her best foot forward. Do you think that Lana, I know we just have a small sampling of Cyrus, but do you think that she sees Cyrus as a sympathetic character? Is she amused by him? Does she think there's some sweetness to him? Or did she just take the money and run?
I think she sees something in Cyrus that has obviously gotten too out of control, but she sees where it started and why. I'd say that's who she's like. She doesn't also take nonsense from him at all. She does wear a French maid's outfit, which is she's being paid. Wait, that sounds worse. But no, I think she has sympathy for him, but also I think she wants to maybe put him in his place a little bit, which is why with his insult at the end she smiles and she's not like fish lady. What a vile thing to call someone.
Yeah, I think she's slightly amused by him, and she's up to the task.
Oh, completely. I mean, she deals with dead fish all day. She can handle Cyrus, right?
Cyrus, dead fish. Jeffrey, what's going on online? What are people asking? What do they want to know? What's happening?
Has anyone come up with a nickname for you yet?
No, they haven't. They might have, but no. Kelly wants to know...
The loyal liaison?
Is Willow going to betray Liam? She seems sort of upset after that.
I think that's a really good question. I always say, don't sleep on Willow. I think that Willow is...
Can you say that again?
I said on. I said on.
Does Liam have the same rule?
You know, the thing about Willow is she also, as you said about Liam, I think Willow, she speaks truth to power. You know, she tells the truth, and she's very honest, and she sort of says what she means. And I think that she clearly has great affection for Liam. I don't feel like she's the kind of person with that sort of malice in her heart. Now, you never know. A woman scorned, you know, we'll see. But I think that Willow is, I think she's better in Liam's world than worse. And I think that she genuinely has great affection for him and would be good to him. It's interesting. Why don't we do another poll about it, actually?
Let's say that.
Let's talk about whether Catherine should be with Robert, which would be your thumbs up. Because we saw the genesis of their relationship. Should she be with Liam? Which is your heart, or there could be a Liam Willow. We'll give that the red-faced thing, whatever.
Angry.
That
Honestly, send in the emojis.
Crying face.
Crying face.
Okay, crying face.
Oh, the
crying
sad
face.
face. Sad face. So if you see, click all the emojis that you see. We're watching them come in, so we're gonna tally up the votes that you send in. A lot of hearts right now.
All right.
I think a lot of.
Is that just because he's here, though?
What?
I want it to be Liam.
What else is happening?
So a lot of people are asking a lot of stuff about Cyrus. Will Cyrus ever get to see his child again?
That's an interesting question. Never say never. I would just say that, we have a lot of stories left to tell. I feel like sometimes I feel like we're just scratching the surface, as you can see with Robert returning. And I think that, we have, obviously, Cyrus had a son. And I would just say never say never. There's a lot of story left to tell. Should Cyrus survive his cancer? There's a lot going on for him.
Someone, you said never say never. Illy says, what if Robert isn't Simon's son?
Always a possibility.
Oh.
Yes?
Always a possibility. Looks a lot like Alistair.
A question for Will. Karen says, what's it like to play Liam? Your favorite thing about Liam?
My favorite thing to play about Liam, I always love the kind of angry scenes. In life, you're so suppressed. We're so suppressed by our modern society. I feel like the only way some people can outlet their feelings is on social media and through this sort of technological finger kind of world.
Not a bad thing.
And sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's not such a good thing. I think when I get to just, you just get to express everything inside of yourself. You get to kind of put all this energy that you've had, for, maybe building up for like a long time. You get to put it into a scene. It's a very healthy place to put it, and I love doing it. And so Mark writes great scenes like that. He writes great emotional scenes, great angry scenes, and writes great comedy scenes, as do the writers over here. Thank you, writers. And so I love to play those kind of emotional, kind of strong, kind of in-depth scenes. They're always fun.
Nice. Hey, Sasha, I think that you're the first actor to have done One Tree Hill and now done The Royals. I mean, James has directed both of those shows, but I think you're the first one to do both shows.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty
darn good.
bloody awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you both, obviously, you get to work on the show in your homeland, closer to your families, but you're both in LA more than you're there, right?
Right.
Yes, well, I'm permanently live here and then get to go back.
You do as well now, right?
In Venice, yeah.
So what was it like coming back to work and to work with Jake?
Oh, it was absolutely insane. I didn't only get to, especially on the last episode as well, when I got
will we see Lana again?
Never. I don't know what that means.
We will see Lana
Why
again.
would you invite me along to one of these things? It's
We
just
will
a
see
terrible
Lana
idea to bring me here. I don't know what you're
And
doing.
live.
Don't worry, I was much less concerned.
Jake loved working with you, and you
I
guys seem
absolutely
to
love him.
just pick up and have so much fun.
It
from
was
the workout.
honestly from the moment we met in the makeup trailer. He walked in and I thought, oh, what an arrogant beep. And then he literally dropped that immediately and I realised he was quoting Cyrus from the last episode and all the makeup artists started laughing and I went, oh, I get it. And we hugged each other and then laughed consistently for everything besides the takes-ish.
Yeah, no. Jake embodies Cyrus in
He is just
really great ways.
But also though fascinating because one of the loveliest, funniest human beings that I've ever met.
Yeah,
so to then watch him as Cyrus, I'm like, bravo, schizophrenic actor. Like that's That's
Definitely
that's-
playing a role.
That's incredible.
Well, Will plays a good guy on the show too, so it's acting.
Learning
Wasn't going to
lines.
say anything.
How are we doing in the love triangle poll?
A lot of hearts. So I think just Liam's getting all the...
Liam's getting a lot of love.
Liam's getting all the love.
I feel like it is a little biased though. We've already had 2 seasons, almost 2.5 seasons of my character. If people don't support me, I feel like Phil's got this random guy on an island.
And
It's
yes,
a little like it is a little
Should you
biased.
take it personally,
It's a
or
little bit like some proper propaganda going on.
and yet never take it for granted, because
Never take it for
sometimes they don't like your character.
Yeah.
Or your creator.
Your creator.
What else are they asking?
Some people are a little bit nervous about Robert. There's some excitement that he's coming back, but it's like, will he want the throne? Will he distance himself from the family? There's some of those questions.
will he get rid of his beard?
I have a couple questions. Can I ask some questions to Mark since we're here? So Mark, the show's very clearly influenced by music.
Yes.
Why do you choose certain songs for certain scenes, and where do you find these songs, and how do you edit them together to sort of end perfectly, seemingly, to like have this bang moment with the song,
Brilliant
and bang
question.
moment with the episode?
I appreciate that question, William. Well, I always say our best kept secret is Lindsay Wolfington, who's our music supervisor. Been with her for a lot of years. Les Butler directed this episode. He's also an editor, and he's been editing shows with me for 15 years. So I think between the three of us, I'm a big music fan, obviously. The actors come up to me a lot of times and say, "Hey, have you heard this?" or "Are you listening to this?" as you did tonight. I've always said it's one of my favorite things to do, because when you find the right piece of music and you place it to the scene, because scenes, it's amazing. You can have a locked scene with no music, and you put the wrong song, and all of a sudden it seems like they're talking too fast, and there's no emotion to the scene. And you could put a really slow song, and the scene seems to be painful and slow, and you get the right piece of music, and all of a sudden it comes alive. And sometimes I'll script it. You guys have read the scripts, and sometimes it says, this is playing. Once in a while, the writers will script something that they really hear in their head as they're writing the scene. But it's kind of a team effort. Look, I'll always be a frustrated musician, so it's my favorite thing to do.
It's your outlet.
And I have, Lindsay sends me things, I listen to things, and then I have a folder that I save, which is a season folder. And when I hear a song that I love, I just put it in the folder. And then when we have an assembly of the episode, we go to the folder and we say, okay, here's a list of the songs I would love to use this year.
Very cool.
And we start rolling through.
Very cool, because that last song was pretty epic.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was
Genius.
epic. It was
Well, I have to
epic.
say, it's interesting. That song was sent by Lindsay, I think, a season or two ago.
No way.
And it was one of those songs that was in the folder of, we should use this song at some point.
Yeah.
And so, a scene will find its song, and a song will find its scene, and you can't force it.
Yeah.
So I think we had that song for at least a season or two, and Les placed it.
So cool.
So there's a team effort. Les placed it. I had it in the folder of let's use it. Lindsay sent it.
Yeah.
And poof, you have a great coda.
It's awesome.
We should call my mom, yeah?
Call your mom, okay.
Let's talk to my mom. We've been doing that every week.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. Let me just... Who is ringing the bells? Who's Jingle Bells? Are those Scarlett's?
Scarlett.
Scarlett, Jingle. Very nice.
What will we see James Hills? When will we see James Hills then?
Fascinating.
Here she comes. Where's my mic? Here.
Hello.
Hi, Mom. It's your son, Mark.
Hi, Marky.
How are you?
I'm great, and I love the ending of the show with the Christmas thing.
Yeah, with the Christmas the little musical montage.
Oh, that was great. Yes.
I appreciate that, Mom. That was a long, hot day on the soundstage, and we shot that whole sequence. And Alex really sang that song.
I was going to ask you that. She did a great job.
She did do a good job. But William, who's here, did not want to wear the funny Christmas jumper.
I did not.
No, he said to me, I'm going to look stupid in the Christmas jumper.
And I look stupid in the Christmas jumper. Funny that.
You know what? You really didn't pay
Oh, thank
attention
you.
to that because of the whole thing that was going on. I mean, everybody looked great. I thought Cyrus in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part too.
Cyrus is very Scroogey. If you go back and watch, at the very end, when all the dancers fall and the princess is running out of the soundstage, up on the balcony of the little house, Cyrus is dancing. But poor Jake, I put him up there. I had him stay up there for about an hour, and we cut him. You don't even see his face. We just cut him off at the shoulders, I think.
Oh, that poor guy. Well, I felt sorry for him in the one scene when he's crying over Violet.
Yeah. He was. He feels as though he's lost this girl that he loves, and I think he's worried he's gonna lose the crown as well. And of course, he has his cancer, right, Mom?
Yes, right.
That's right.
So he's got like a triple thing against him.
It's a Bermuda Triangle of trouble.
Will we ever find out what happened to Violet?
Yes, in time, I think we will.
Good. Oh, that's good.
Unless Lana decides that she doesn't want us to find out, because Sasha is here too.
Fishmonger.
She played Lana tonight, Mom, who was the would-be Violet.
Yes.
She's here as well, and she may not want Violet back in the picture.
Oh,
I'm
don't be
open-minded.
mean. I like Violet.
As did I. Thank you for the support, though. That was great.
Now, I got to ask you, Mom, what do you think about Liam and Catherine with Robert possibly coming back now?
Well, you know what? I was surprised that Robert walked in right at the end. That was great, because you always leave that hook at the end. You always hook us in and then let us want. We want for more. But I was surprised that Liam took the picture of Robert with that girl.
Yeah. In the last episode, I think he said, I haven't seen you in a while, and she said, remember we took that picture, and you were meant, you were meant to think they took a picture together, and then now we revealed that actually he was the one who took the picture of his brother.
And he knew that she was involved with his brother.
That's right, but of course he thinks his brother's dead.
Well, I know he does now, but I mean, he did know, and that was a surprise that he knew it. I didn't know he knew she was involved with Robert until you revealed that.
Yep, well, it was meant to be a surprise. I'm glad it was.
Well, it sure was. Oh, I love it. So good.
Well, Robert's back now, Mom, so, we're not on next week, which is, next Sunday is Christmas. So we're not on that night, although I think they might show the little musical sequence again.
As they
I believe.
should.
Good.
And then we're back on New Year's Day night. We're going to be back again and we're going to find out about Robert being back.
Oh, okay.
But before that, I'll be seeing you, and I'll hope that you bake pies for Christmas.
Well, you know I am.
All right, good. Excellent.
You know I am.
Well, I love you, Mom, and I appreciate that you watch the episodes, and you always have interesting things to ask and say, and I appreciate it.
Well, Mark, you are a blessing to me, and I love you back.
I love you, Mom. Thank you.
Nice.
And I will see you. I always say I'll talk to you this week. I'll see you this week.
I know, that's amazing.
I know.
Merry Christmas to everybody that's there.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, Mom. I love you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. There's my mom.
Oh, God, I need makeup.
It's nice to be a blessing, especially at Christmas.
Well, even if it's only for her.
Yeah, before I had a show, I was not so much of a blessing. Just kidding. What's going on, Jeffrey? What do you
So
have?
a lot of people loved Damien Hurley's cameo
Yeah?
in this episode. They thought it was hilarious.
That was his first on-camera role.
He rocked that.
So good.
Yeah, and when we sat down to write it in the writer's room, obviously, we talked about what he could maybe do this season, because as I said, he's always around, and he loves the show, and you could run lines with him. He knows everybody's parts, and so we were talking about what we could do, and we came up with this idea of the Queen. She's in bed, she's ill for a day, and she stumbles upon this reality show, and she loves this character that no one else seems to see the merits in. And when Elizabeth read it, she had like glassy eyes, and she really enjoyed it. So.
That's cool.
Damien did a great job. He's a good kid.
Gosh,
It was amazing that they were able to connect in that way. Like she was watching him.
And they never have a scene together.
Yeah.
They just have, she's watching the TV, which was really fun. But yeah, he did great.
That's cool. Shannon wants to know, when Liam went public with Ophelia, it wasn't a big deal. Why would it be such a big deal for Robert and Catherine?
Well, that's a great question. I feel like the answer is a personal one because Liam at the end of the episode also said, this will change for us. So Liam clearly, and in the flashback in the dart scene, Robert clearly stands on ceremony. He believes that there's royals and there's not royals, and the two shouldn't mix. And even though I think he has affection for Catherine, he feels on a grand level, on a royal level, there's going to be a short list of contenders and suitors, as the Queen was on that list for King Simon. Liam doesn't believe in that so much. Liam says, if I have feelings for someone, the world can know about it. And I think and I think it's a really interesting distinction. Robert has been raised to be the next King of England. And he's been raised, and he says to Liam, in a way, I'm jealous of you because you don't have that pressure. You can do things that I can't. So Robert seems to subscribe to the old school traditions. And I think that's the reason. It's more personally motivated than it is, Obviously, Liam's sort of breaking the rules a little bit. If you ask the Queen, she'd say, keep it quiet. Yeah, I think.
Some people, Sarah said, what was with Eleanor's new room? We saw them painting it, but she sort of had a whole new room in this episode. Kind of a design. Any inspirations for that? Is it green?
It's season 3, and I just felt like, let's just mix it up a little bit. I just literally, it was green. There wasn't a reason that it was green. It wasn't like envy or anything like that. It's just, I got to tell you, I never really loved the sort of turquoisey room that she was in before. And I just thought it's season 3. Let's shake it up a little bit. And I wanted to do it via the characters. I wanted to do it through Jasper and Eleanor. But yeah, she's got a new room. The room will stay pretty much like that this season. Except for our Christmas episode, which is coming. And then it'll be decorated and it'll look awesome.
Nice.
Our Christmas episode is in January, but you're going to love it.
This is sort of a theory, a question. Taylor would like to know, will Willow and Cyrus start an alliance?
That's a good question. I would say that you never know. In the palace, the alliances shift a lot. I don't know, Cyrus and Lana might start an alliance. How do we know?
He won't win in that.
It's hard to say. I think that one of the great things about this show is that the alliances shift. And I think it's always compelling when we mix different characters. And quite frankly, for the writing staff and for us, it's fun too. Because there are certain actors that rarely work together. And then you can put them together and put their characters together, and you get sort of new energy.
It's always fresh.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, those are great questions. We always appreciate it. If you want to keep this dialogue going, you can do it at Facebook, obviously. You can do it on the Twitter. You can go to the Snapchat, and even on the Instagram. I guess
I like that there was a B before every single one.
the kids are doing all that. We are not back on Christmas next week, but we are back the week after that, which is New Year's Day, the night of New Year's Day, for episode 4. Robert's back in the palace. There's a lot going on. You guys, if you want to talk about it all week, we really appreciate the support. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of The Royals. Merry Christmas, everyone!
Oh, Christmas crackers.
You have to do it. Go.
All right,
What is it?
We're putting it
Okay,
into
you
a
have
cracker.
to cross your arms. I have no one.
Oh,
Scarlett,
Jessica,
come
you
here.
won.
Okay.
What does it
no,
do?
now I've got too many. No, look.
What is it? It's just
Inside is like a thing.
Smell it.
unknown.
This is a present. Oh,